Understanding systemic bias. A simple guide. Hello everyone, and welcome to our English language learning series. Today, we're going to explore a significant topic, systemic bias. This term is not just important in English but is crucial in understanding societal dynamics globally. Let's dive into what systemic bias means and why it's important to understand. Systemic bias refers to ingrained prejudice or unfairness within the policies, systems, or institutions of a society. Unlike individual bias, which is based on personal beliefs or attitudes, systemic bias is embedded in the structures of organizations, legal systems, or social norms. It's often less visible but has a broad impact, influencing the opportunities and treatment of different groups in society. To understand systemic bias, let's look at some examples. 1. Employment. If a company's hiring process unintentionally favors candidates from a certain background, it's a form of systemic bias. 2. Education. Educational materials that primarily showcase the achievements of one ethnic group over others also reflect systemic bias. 3. Healthcare. Differences in medical treatment or health outcomes among different demographic groups can indicate systemic bias in healthcare systems. Recognizing systemic bias requires understanding the patterns and practices that lead to unequal outcomes. It's not about blaming individuals but about acknowledging how systems can perpetuate inequality. Awareness is the first step toward addressing and correcting systemic bias. Overcoming systemic bias involves 1. Awareness and education. Educating ourselves and others about systemic bias. 2. Policy changes. Advocating for and implementing fair and inclusive policies. 3. Continuous effort. Systemic change is a continuous process requiring ongoing effort and commitment. Understanding systemic bias helps us become more empathetic and informed members of society. It's a complex issue, but by learning and growing together, we can work towards a more equitable world. Thank you for joining us today, and we hope this video has been enlightening.